Minimize. Okay. Enter the PCs. Read aloud. It was clear from the tone of your master that you were definitely not the ideal candidates for this mission. Indeed, he seemed too hesitant as he gave you the rundown of the situation of Sepphoris Secundus. There is a recent uprising of native forces that needed to be put down, so a platoon of Imperial Guard were sent down to the heart of the rebellion to silence the mobs. Once the worst of the fighting had passed, they secured the area, which included an exploration of the Gorgonid mines, where the fighting was the heaviest. The reports were murky since a number of the squads went missing in the dark. But suffice to say, the Commissar sealed off the mine and quarantined the entire region. Under ordinary circumstances, the Inquisition would have looked into the matters on their own pace, but the damage of the world's economy, and by extension, the entire sector's economy, could prove too severe if the problem was left unattended. Hence, they sent you and your companions. This is a bit unsettling since you're a raw recruit bound for training in Sekotel. Can't even say that. But you were the closest acolytes, and it was a small matter to divert your vessel to the harsh and frozen world. Go ahead and introduce yourselves for the recording.
Starting from left to right down at the bottom?
Yes. So go ahead, Raven.
My character name is Trauma. I got it because I was in some epic fight. Now I have a nervous tick, so I just kind of have Tourette's now and then where I just shake.
Tourette's are when you start screaming curse words.
That too. She has that issue too.
Nerd rage.
Road rage.
I'm Skylar, and my character's name is Hawk.
What is Hawk?
Yep. Nothing much to tell.
You're supposed to say, "What are you?" Like, I'm this. I'm
Last
that.
Oh,
place.
right. Sorry.
For
I'm
those
a
that,
assassin.
yeah, Trauma's an assassin.
Yep. Hawk is the guardsman.
Okay, go ahead, Rokar.
Character name is Zerial Holder. My name is Jeremy Jr. My dad's not here at this particular moment, but he will be joining later on throughout the campaign. But my character is an arbitrator, and I like to crush things. So.
Right. That was for the people for recording. At this time, your characters introduce themselves. It is assumed that the PCs have spent a few weeks together, and especially the last situation that they were put through. So they know some of each other. They know each other's quirks and names, and some other precise details of each player that have been released so far. Now, having disembarked from the lighter, which is the small ship, you watch as the engines roar, carrying it upwards towards the cruiser that floats in orbit around this wretched world. As it shrinks away and vanishes, you take in your surroundings. All around you is an Imperial Guard encampment filled with scores of grim-faced looking men and women, some bloodied and bandaged, all wearing the gray uniform of the 97th Battalion. The camp is mostly a sea of tents positioned around smoking craters, steaming vents that belch violet clouds of stinking gas into the air, and wreckage from the recent conflict. A walker screeches as it patrols the perimeter. A pilot deftly maneuvers the vehicle through the wreckage of old buildings, smoking cars, and unburied bodies. At the camp center, there stands a rust-red hablock bearing the eagle symbol of the Imperium. On its exterior, Beyond it is the range of low mountains covered in ice. The sprawl of industrial flames belched forth from smokestacks, storage containers, and great bubbling vats of intoxicating steam. The more combined to make the structure look some kind of vast metal insect scuttling the peaks of the rugged range. What would you guys like to do? You're now just plopped right in the middle of a giant camp, and people are just staring at you now.
Does it look like there's anyone in charge in particular?
Are we supposed to be on the mission will begin shortly screen?
Yes, because there's nothing to show you guys right now, and you're going to deal with it.
Noah! You have a tiny binocle.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh. Alright, I need you guys to do a perception test.
Perception?
Yep.
And there's no
Alrighty.
modifiers or anything like that, just straight perception.
Straight perception.
Ice
So,
and snow.
I wouldn't say so. Instead, Hawk decides to tie his bootlaces.
Exactly.
I just sharpen my blades and look around at people and wondering why they're staring at me.
You're supposed to hit perception.
Why do I gotta do that?
There we go. So, as you look around, Hawk is obviously tying his boots, not carrying. Zeal
Awesome.
and Trauma are looking about the camp, and they notice that there's quite a bit of disgruntled-looking people, all not looking all too glee to see you landing. They're curious in why exactly you are here.
Kill heretics.
I need
Mayday
you
burn.
guys-
And develop genital warps.
That's a mutation.
Alright, well,
Purge the mutations.
as you guys are looking about, you notice that there is a guardsman come running towards you. When he arrives, he comes to an abrupt stop, stooping over, hands on his knees, struggling to catch his breath. After a moment, he looks up and smiles. He's a young man. He barely have turned 18. He has bright hair and pocks all over his face, under the bright hair that pokes out from underneath the helmet. His pale, freckled skin, the youthful features. He says, "Sirs, lady, welcome to the Gorgonid Mines. You're here to help. I just knew it." He paused, taking another breath. "I told them all that you were coming, so which one of you is the Inquisitor? Want to come see the Commissar?"
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
"Zert! You leave your post again?" The owner of the voice is a compact, square-jaw, ugly man. His head is shaved with a dark blue tattoo on it, the right of his scalp. He's wearing the gray fatigues of the guard, but the stripes on his sleeve indicate that he is a man of rank. Where his right arm used to be, now is a stump where a large metal rod with a disturbing array of attachments at the end emerge. Jert stammers, turns red all the way up to his ears, looking at his feet, mumbling, No, Sergeant Raynor. I was just heading back there now, sir." Sergeant Raynor fixes the junior guardsman with a stare, then turns towards the acolytes. One of his eyes is ice blue, cold and staring. The other is a crude, false eye made of wood wandering slightly off to the left. See that you do. Double time. Now you, fixing his gaze upon the acolytes. You're a sorry bunch, aren't you? Who you supposed to be? Not the Inquisitor, I warrant. Well, speak up. I won't have no commotion in my camp.
So, which one of us wants to speak first?
You can just
I
speak.
don't particularly want to, but
Where's the Inquisitor? Yeah, cross-eyed ninny.
You gotta remember, these people are of rank. And he's going to a commissar. A commissar can just shoot you. You gotta play it smooth.
Smooth like sandpaper.
Yeah.
All right, so we were ordered to come here and help you guys out with this little problem as quickly as possible. So whatever you need us to do, we're all over it.
Okay. He listens to your story, waiting for them to finish. Then, as the players take a wish, once they stop, he trails off in confusion and stares at them a bit longer, waiting for a few seconds. Right. So the Inquisitor isn't coming. This isn't a question. I suppose I better let the commissar know. You're here, sirs. Looks over at Trauma. Ma'am. With that, he makes a ready to leave. But as he turns, his crude cybernetic arm starts to shake, and the augments start to spin and whirl and spin and snap. A terrible racket. Raynar curses, runs his hand down the length of the metal rod, whispering a prayer, and pushes a button. Immediately, the device settles down. He starts heading off towards the hab block. As he marches, the acolyte hears tittering laughter come from a nearby tent. I need you guys to do an awareness test.
Well, let's see how well I do with that.
Any
Any
modifiers?
modifiers?
No modifiers, straight up.
I failed slightly.
I
Wow,
noticed that it's really, really cold.
You're the perceptive one today, aren't you, Hawk?
Well, I'm going to...
Apparently Hawk's just blind
yeah, no shit.
at this point.
It's really close, and I'm just going to do a rounding for Zuriel. Zuriel notices that Recruit Jert is still watching them, wide-eyed a few meters away.
All right, so this guy's watching us from a little bit away, and so what are we doing now? The sergeant just walked off, yes?
Yeah, you can...
Yes.
You can talk to the kid, you can find out where the noise came from, or you can just say, screw it all, and chase after the sergeant.
Where'd the noise come from?
To the kid.
Alright, wait. Okay, go ahead, Zero, because you started a half second before Skylar.
Okay.
I'm having video options, or not options, problems with my computer. The whole screen just went black, but I was wondering where the noise came from.
Hit refresh, and I will start reading that. The sound of laughter came from a shabby-looking tent that was just off to your guys' right. It is partly popped open, but... Oops, where'd he go? Did he leave?
He's still showing up on my screen, love.
Okay. I was just making sure. Rokar, are you there?
I think he'd be gone. Well, he's still on the Skype call, so does that mean he can still hear us?
I don't know. I'm going to stop the recording.